Slave, Warmaker Klael has ordered the sealing of the borders, including the destruction of the bridge. This is to discourage your treacherous kin from entering our lands. For hundreds of years we have patiently welcomed your people into our lands, and our kindness was repaid with war. No more, bonded one. You will break the bridge, and as you do, think about the consequences of betrayal. Think about what your people have done to you. The Warmaker would like to make it clear that no congress with the Northern City is allowed. The humans are considered enemies of the Triumvirate, and all contact between the city-states is severed. Any slaves caught consorting with the enemy will be summarily executed. Slave, by order of the Warmaker, the Gladiator Arena has been closed. All gladiators have been called to serve in the war effort, and the competitions have been suspended. All beasts have been penned for the duration, and all slaves working the arena are recalled to the city for reassignment. Obey and return, slave. The war requires everybody. Slaves, the Warmaker is issuing this decree regarding the battle north of the city. Any rumors of a new weapon unleashed by the humans is completely false. There was a natural phenomenon, a subsidence of the earth, that decimated the army before it came into contact with the enemy. The will of Set prevails, and we shall consult with the Triumvirate before we decide upon our new course of action in this war.
Slave, in the beginning it was thus. The blackness of an utter void, with the cold winds of cosmic space blowing through it. We have not forgotten our origin, slave, nor the immensity of the void. Nightly, the star dreamers search the heavens for their wisdom, and at midnight, a moonbeam messenger carries the whispered dreaming back to the Warmaker, the Archivist, and the Priest King. Thus is our future read from the heavens and engraved on this earth. Your service here will bring you much honor. Slave, know this as the road of refuge. Your people came to us as exiles, weary and harried. When we revealed ourselves, your people fell to their knees and worshipped us. In return, we fed and clothed you. But you came in untold numbers. We could not clothe you all, nor would we offer you of our water or our land. In time, this led to conflict, eventually to war. Though it caused us grief, we were forced to dominate you. Slaves to our whim, your treacherous species will never betray us again. Bonded one, this is the spiritual heart of our city. Herein, the sacrificial rituals of Set are performed constantly, such that the scent of sacrifice will bring glory and victory to our people. Enter, slave, if you have been bidden to come here, if it is the purpose of your being to be given to the old serpent, then do not allow your footsteps to falter. Enter, slave. Give your heart to Set. Know this, slave, that when the kings of lesser races come to pay us homage, they come along the river that winds through the heart of our lands. Their pleasure barges come, laden with tribute of gold and silver and sacrificial flesh, to pass between the sentinels, the gateway to our kingdom. As they pass into the shadows of the sentinels, the merriment stills, the supplicants tremble. Look upon our works, ye mighty, and despair. There was a time, bonded one, when our peoples were linked. This aqueduct served as both highway and life source, transporting water from the high places and providing your people with safe passage into the north. No more. The borders have been sealed. The water no longer flows as it once did. The bonds of friendship have been replaced with the rhetoric of war. No more do your people cross the aqueduct, save by our orders. Slave, if you have been chosen to work the aviary, be wary. The winged demons that we use to complete our errands are fed on the flesh from the sacrifice pits, and they see your kind as prey. The aviary allows us to rule our empire, carrying the decrees of the triumvirate across the land. Our beasts feed themselves as they travel, and they are intelligent enough to never lose their way. Like you, bonded one. They make excellent servants. Behold, bonded one, the very boundaries of civilization. Beyond the passage of our highways lie the wild places of the world, where untamed savages make endless war upon each other. You cannot pass into the endless wastes enslaved. Your bonding prevents it. Return. Follow the road. Any road. All roads lead to the city. Water flows through our city, from untainted sources in the high places, and down through the mighty aqueducts that we built to sustain us. And the sewers carry away the waste from the city, washing it away in a torrent of pure, clean water. Slave, you have been chosen to maintain those sewers, to sweep away the debris and creatures which gather in the foul-smelling darkness. Be honored, bonded one, and be wary. Strange things grow in the gloom of those tunnels. Slave, this is the place of summoning. You are here to maintain the integrity of the circle and clean up the reagents used by the masters. The rituals that the priest king and his acolytes perform here are messy, but pay them no mind. Be watchful of your sanity. The whisperings of those who come from the outer void can have a disturbing effect on the weak-willed. Under no circumstances should you feed the one that they call the Lord of Empty Abodes. Its power waxes when it tastes the flesh of your kind. Your kind call them abominations, slave. But they are our children, forged of flesh and unholy communion with the outer dark. See their glistening flesh as they emerge from the spawning vats, gibbering insanities. Oh, their shadows writhe and dance upon the naked earth, a blasphemous taint that stains the soil. Your kind fear them, slave, and with good reason. When we march against your kindred with our hungering children slithering in our wake, their fear will be justified. But you need not fear them, slave. You are loyal. Your flesh is safe. You have come as bidden to the heart of our empire. Behold the glory of our capital, where the triumvirate rules. Take heart, bonded one, for in time the Black Spires will come to be your home. We have made a place for your people here, and we welcome them. Take your time to wander the boulevards and admire the stonework. Your bond will warn you when you approach forbidden territory. The arena serves the city as a place of blood sport and competition, Bonded One. Our kind are far too few to be wasted on arena battles, but your kind are as numerous as rats, and the exceptionally strong are tested here. On battle days, the great gates to the city are thrown open, and the people go forth in a great throng along the verdant valley to the gates of the arena. It is a festival and a sacrifice to the glory of the old serpent. You are assigned to work, not to watch. There are 3 levels: the pens, the arena floor, and the gallery. Find your assigned position, slave. There is always work to be done. The pens are where we keep the beasts that we have trained for the arena, Bonded One. Most of these creatures are wild and deadly. You will need to learn to handle them. They are exotic species, sent as worship gifts by the lesser kingdoms that surround us. The Priest King takes great pleasure in this tribute, though the Warmaker is far less enamored of the blood sports. It is rumored that if the war continues, the Warmaker will move to close the arena. What the Archivist will decide is not a matter of speculation for you, slave. There will be beasts to tend. Behold the sands of the arena, Bonded One. Here, the games of mortality are played beneath the sun and the moon. Your people are puzzling to us, slave. Once, we set a group of them to fight one another, and they sat in the sand and refused to fight, even though they knew that our retribution would be swift and merciless. Another time, one of them fought and killed a dragon single-handedly. You are spared the fighting, slave. Your job will be cleaning up what is left after the battle. Here, in the gallery, you are required to serve, Bonded One. It is a great honor for you to be among the trusted servants of the Priest King. Do not do anything to draw his gaze, though it would be a great honor for you to be sacrificed on the altar of Sacred Set. We would be losing a loyal servant. To provide privacy for those of our kind using the gallery, the enchantment that allows you to understand our language will be disabled while you are in the area. Here is the place that has been set aside for your people, Bonded One. Here, you can find rest and succor between errands. Breeding is encouraged. We can always use more servants.
Stop, Bonded One. Proceed no further. Beyond this passage lies death and despair. It is forbidden. Do not go while the protections that we have put in place for your kind will activate. There will be death. This, Bonded One, is the Circle of Swords. Here is where we choose to deal with those who cannot be trusted. One need not fear betrayal at a meeting in the Circle of Swords, for no sorcery can be used in that ancient ring. It was old before our history began. But who built it, and why? I cannot answer. And who do we meet here? That knowledge is forbidden to even our most trusted human servants. Just beware, Bonded One. Those who live beneath the mountain of fire. Behold, slave, the lake that feeds our city. The food that you eat and the water that you drink is sourced here, at the base of the mountains. The fertility of our lands is reliant upon the dam. Your people could never have constructed something of such majesty, but you are given the great honor of maintaining it. Remember your duties, slave.
for the water that flows south is as precious as the gemstone that you wear on your forearms. North of here, Bonded One, is a valley. Do not approach this place too closely. There was a clashing of sorceries here in the past, and it created a disjunction. Belief can be a powerful tool that shapes the will. In this place, belief can shape the world. If enough believe it to be so, the gods themselves can manifest. This is too much for mortal minds to handle. Stay away from the disjunction, child of the bracelet. Stay safe, and serve another day. Bonded One, you have come to the farmlands that give sustenance to our great empire. See the bounteous crops that bloom and blossom. If you have been assigned to such duty, be glad. Your days will be spent working the earth in sunshine and light. This is a good land, fertile and giving. If you are simply passing through, Bonded One, do not despair. We have other tasks for you. Do you see this place, Bonded One? It was once a haven for your people. We lived harmoniously before the great betrayal. Was it fated that our two peoples would go to war? I like to think, Bonded One, that we are wiser than that. But humankind, it seems, cannot avoid conflict, and my people do not like change. So look upon these ruins, human. Understand what once was is now gone. The war will continue until there is a victor, and the victor will always be the one who was right all along. Hold, Bonded One. For you, this path leads only to trouble. Your people dwell east of here in the swamps, but to cross the curse wall is death. Understand the wall was built to power the bracelets, to give sorcerers power when far from home. But your betrayal forced our hand. Now the wall is a barrier, and only those with permission may pass. Your kind do not have permission. You are trapped within these lands. It was our ultimate defense against the treachery of your kind. Do not go east. You have come to the northern boundary of our kingdom. Go no further, slave, lest you run afoul of the boundary markers. Take a moment, however, to appreciate it. Out there, beyond the borders, is freedom. The freedom to suffer, the freedom to die. Remain, Bonded One. Our yoke is light, and your life is better for it. This temple serves as the home of the Scourge Stone, Bonded One. Here you will spend your days in service to the divine element and the one who protects it. It is a great honor to you and to all your kind that we allow such access to our most holy sites. Be thankful, slave, for the alternative is a screaming death on a bloody altar. Across this bridge stands Zula. It was originally an outpost built by your people, though for what purpose we do not know. If you have been sent, Bonded One, to serve Tyros, I urge you to listen to his every word. He is the best of your kind, strong and loyal. He serves at this remote outpost, and defends us against the Lemurian incursions into our farmlands. He denies them access to our food supply. And the volcano. Always the volcano.